Hey guys, Rudy Campos Jr. for Box Score Studio. Want to let you know this show is pre-recorded. So if you leave any comments, we won't be able to read them live on the show, but we will get to them. We will answer any questions you have. Any comments you leave, we'll share them on the next live show of Box Score Studio. But again, the following show has been pre-recorded. Thanks.
Welcome to Box Score Studio, where the stats speak, the stories hit harder, and every take comes straight off the playbook. Let's talk sports.
Hey, let's try something new here at Box Score Studio. Let's do some pre-recorded shows, get you some content out there. We've got Super Bowl 60 coming up, Seahawks, Patriots. We're going to get into that here in a little bit. We'll do a little bit of the lines as well. Last we checked, again, this show is pre-recorded, so if it's changed, it's changed. We haven't got it yet, but 3.5 favorites are the Seahawks over the Patriots, a combined over and under of 46.5. We'll get into that here. The Hall of Shame comes a call in for Bill Belichick. We're going to get into that as well. I don't even want to get into the Shador Sanders talk about him being a Pro Bowler. That is just making a mockery of what already is a joke of a Pro Bowl in the NFL. Also, another joke of an all-star game that is the NBA all-star game. I get it. You have Team USA Stars, Team USA Stripes against Team World, trying to make it, fun again, I guess. But nonetheless, your San Antonio Spurs are going to be represented by another person in head coach Mitch Johnson. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. Also, Carter Bryant joins the slam dunk contest. I see Spurs fans on Twitter or X or whatever the kids are calling it today that Carter Bryant is missing dunks left and right, gets invited to the All-Star game. Now he's dunking everything within sight. Congratulations, Carter Bryant. Also, NBA trade deadline, man. It's coming up very, very fast. Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. The trade deadline. Do the Spurs make a move? Do any of the teams make moves? Does Giannis Antetokounmpo become a Knick? Does it become a Hawk? Do we see possibly Jimmy Butler being moved? Do we see John Morant joining Minnesota after Minnesota said they don't really have interest anymore? So many questions to be answered, man. We're going to get that to you. And also ask the question for you Spurs fans in our Spurs Cheesemas segment. Should the Spurs do anything more to help a 33-16 team? They started off hot. They kind of cooled off a little bit, but they are still on pace to win at least 52, 53 games on the season. Really, nobody had that in sight. Nobody called that. I know I didn't. I had them at 44 wins. I had them as a 6th seed at best. They are the second best team in the Western Conference right now, third best overall in the NBA. What more can they do? We'll get into that here in just a little bit. But first and foremost, welcome to Box Score Studio TV. Shout out to Chunky Flamingo Apparel. All you have to do is go to chunkyflamingo.com. You have to use the code. What is it? I got to remember the code. Man, I'm so lost on all this stuff here. Chunky Card 20, I believe, is the code right there. Use that promo code, 20% off. You get, t-shirts, sweaters, everything, man. We got an ad for them coming up here in just a little bit. ChunkyFlamingo.com, partners of Box Score Studio TV, partners of Grading the Market, fantastic apparel. We see a lot of you guys on X buying their stuff. Hey, man, it is absolutely fantastic. Not to waste any more time right now, man. Super Bowl 60, Seahawks, Patriots. Of course. I had the Rams at the beginning of the season. I had the Rams winning it all. Preseason came, off season. I said, you know what? 100% Rams win this thing. And I really felt like the Rams are going to win it. No, Seattle had a different tune to play at the end of the season there as they defeated the Rams to get into Super Bowl 60. Patriots defeated the Broncos to get into Super Bowl 60. Now you've got what I think is a really damn good matchup. When it comes to quarterback play, Drake May has been my 1B MVP this season. I've had Matthew Stafford as 1A. I was hoping to get that 1A, 1B matchup in the Super Bowl. because then you would have had to top two MVP candidates vying for the Lombardi. But we didn't get that. Sam Darnold ruined it. Kenneth Walker ruined it. Seattle Seahawks defense ruined it. Oh, well, here we are, Super Bowl 60. Do the Patriots have a chance? Do they have a legitimate shot at beating Seattle? Well, I know for one, I was one guy that said, hey, you know what? The winner of Seattle and LA and the Rams is going to win the Super Bowl. There's no chance in hell that a New England Patriots team or a Denver Broncos team would have been able to beat Seattle or LA. None whatsoever. I'm starting to second guess myself now. I think when I look at everything, I understand Seattle's defense. I understand their defense is playing absolutely lights out, Legion of Boom type of football right now. Kenneth Walker is running up and down the field, causing extreme havoc. Sam Darnold played a damn good NFC title game for the Seahawks. They have the best receiver on the field in Jackson Smith and Jigba. There's absolutely no way the Patriots have an opportunity to beat the Seattle Seahawks. I have no idea why I'm saying this, but I think there is. Deep down, I feel that the Patriots do have a legitimate shot at beating the Seattle Seahawks. I think that reason is Drake May. Obviously, you compare quarterbacks, Darnold and May. I'm going to take Drake May. He's my 1B MVP. But then you look at the coaching staff. I like the Patriots coaching staff. The Patriots have built a well-balanced team on both offense and defense. The check mark goes to Seattle on wide receiver as at wide receiver 1. Jackson Smith, absolutely head over heels. I mean, he's completely better than Stephon Diggs as wide receiver 1. I give him that. Quarterback, Patriots, all day. Running game, Kenneth Walker's been playing really, really good. But you've also got the other side of the ball. New England can run the ball. They've got a great duo at running back. Can we kind of say that's kind of a squash right there? Now, if Seattle still had Zach Charbonnet, yeah, big time advantage Seattle. But I kind of give it an equal playing field when it comes to running back. Defensively, yeah, I'm taking Seattle. But guess what? Not by much. By very little. Seattle's defense has been playing lights out. We just said it. But the Patriots defense, it comes to play as well. They can cause a lot of havoc, especially for Sam Darnold. Who can handle the moment? Who can handle the pressure of Super Bowl 60? You've got Drake May, second-year starter, doing Mahomes-like things, Tom Brady-esque things, early in his career, getting the Super Bowl. You've got Sam Darnold, once written off as a bust of a quarterback, revived his career in Minnesota a year ago. Went to Seattle. Now he's in the Super Bowl. Minnesota fans, you're probably pissed off because you had Sam Darnold on your team. But they like J.J. McCarthy a little bit more. Terrible. Terrible. J.J. McCarthy, never, ever, ever in my draft analyst, ever was going to be a good NFL quarterback. Never. I still don't think J.J. McCarthy is the guy in Minnesota. Truthfully, no. But Sam Darnold is in the Super Bowl for Seattle. Who can handle that moment the most, the best? Drake May, Sam Darnold. You've got the veteran. You've got the young gun. But where I think it separates the most, I think I give the edge with Mike Vrabel. I mean, you guys know me from, obviously back in the day, sweep the league. Sporting, I'm sporting the old logo here, the old show, the old regiment. I love coaching staffs. I love when a head coach puts together a great staff. And that's something that New England has done. Call me crazy, but I love the New England Patriots to beat the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 60. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means necessary. It's going to be a close game. I'll give you my prediction on the score here in a little bit. But I really do have the New England Patriots beating the Seattle Seahawks for me. So our box score studio power index for Super Bowl 60. I've got the New England Patriots 28, Seattle Seahawks 24. That's what I've got for Super Bowl 60 heading in. Going to the lines right now. As of right now, again, we are pre-recorded right now. But as of right now, the Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites. I'm taking the Patriots and the points. I'm taking the 3.5 for the Patriots. Now you look at the over and under at 46.5. That's what 24 points per team, roughly. I take the Denver New England snow game out of the equation. We're not going to get snow in San Francisco. Levi Stadium's not going to have any snow at all. I take that game out of the equation. These teams can put up points. I'm going with the over on 46.5. Obviously, I said I have New England 28, Seattle 24. Taking the over. I'm taking the Patriots plus 3.5. That is my Super Bowl pick. We're going to get into some prop bets later on in the week as we do a little bit more extensive Super Bowl coverage for you guys here on Box Score Studio. Also, don't forget, check me out on Answer Now TV on YouTube for the Sports Answer that comes out every single Sunday. We're going to be doing another Super Bowl in-depth show for the Sports Answer on Answer Now TV later on in the week. What do you guys have? Do you have the Patriots beating the Seahawks? Do you give the Patriots any opportunity, any chance to beat Seattle? Or do you think Seattle just steamrolls the Patriots? Because that defense has just been playing out of their mind. What do you think, Box Score Nation? Do you have Seattle? Do you have New England? Let us know in the comments. Again, it's Box Score Studio, partners with Chunky Flamingo Apparel, and also shout out to MCS General Contracting, the best in the business. Contact Chunky Flamingo Apparel to get the best apparel in the game. Contact MCS General Contracting to get the best contracting needs. Parking lots, driveways. You need that slab poured? That's MCS General Contracting. Both of them are champions in their own brand. We are the best. We work with the best. Chunky Flamingo Apparel, MCS General Contracting. Partners of us here at Box Score Studio and Grading the Market. We go from Super Bowl talk to, I'm going to mention the Pro Bowl. Shedeur Sanders was a Pro Bowler. Don't understand why. The only thing I can figure is maybe, I don't know, Trevor Lawrence, wanted to go surfing or something. I have no idea. Maybe the other quarterbacks in the AFC just didn't want to play in a Pro Bowl, which I totally get. Pro Bowl sucks now. It doesn't really mean anything. Not like back in the day when we were seeing Sean Taylor nail punters and everything left and right, where the Pro Bowl actually meant something. Maybe they didn't want to play. So Shedeur was the lone guy left to, hey, you know what? Would you like to play? I'm hoping that's the reason why Shedeur Sanders, who had a quarterback rating of 18.5 or somewhere along that lines, I'm hoping that's the only reason why he was selected to the Pro Bowl was because nobody wanted to participate. Hell, I mean, Jarrett Stidham started for Bo Nix in the AFC title game At least let him go play in the Pro Bowl. He played a more meaningful game than Shador Sanders did. I have no idea. I hope we one day get the true reason as to why Shador Sanders was a Pro Bowler. But I know for a fact that wasn't the most head scratching thing in NFL talk this week, even though it really shocked the shit out of a lot of people. This was even more shocking to know that Bill Belichick, all-time winningest postseason coach, top three, I think third all-time in NFL wins, most Super Bowl wins, first-time ballot Hall of Famer gets denied. Says, you know what, Bill? Thanks, but no thanks. Wait a year. Because apparently you are the shittiest person in the world. We're going to deny you your Hall of Fame induction. We're going to make you wait a year. Give me a break. This is terrible. You already have a bad look on the Pro Bowl for inviting Shador Sanders. And you know what? You have a bad look because the Pro Bowl has just sucked for years already. You've got a bad look because the NFL referee calls have been terrible. Saw another one this past season with Denver, or no, what, I can't remember the game. Was it Denver and Buffalo? You know, Brandon Cooks with the catch. The NFL can't even get the rules right. They don't even understand what a catch is half the time. Then they go to replay and it's like, oh, well, it stands. It's not a catch. A lot of us call BS on a lot of stuff. But there's no more BS than not having Bill Belichick in the Hall of Fame. You've got to be effing kidding me here. Now, I get it. MLB, super tough to get in. But it's starting to feel like the NFL, after this one, is doing the whole Barry Bonds thing when it comes to Hall of Fame. Barry did steroids. Barry did that. Never been proven. And even if Barry did do steroids, who gives an S? One, if not the greatest player in MLB history, is not in the Hall of Fame. Terrible. We've overlooked that for many years. But then to get word that Bill Belichick is denied his Hall of Fame induction and is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, it's the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. That's terrible. NFL writers that didn't vote for him, didn't get him the votes to get in, you should be ashamed. You should never be allowed to vote again. I don't care if you were pissed off about Spygate or Deflategate. I don't give a rat's ass. This man is a bona fide, true first ballot Hall of Famer. You may not like the guy. You may hate him. If you're a Detroit Lions, kid wanting to get a high five from Bill and he snubbed you, who cares? Who cares? What this man has accomplished on a football field, on the sidelines, is Hall of Fame worthy. And he's going to get in next year. But why do you make him wait? Why do the writers that denied him make him wait another year? You're full of it. You're terrible. You are the guys that give the NFL stuff like this a sour taste. It leaves a sour taste in a lot of fans' mouths because you don't know what to do. You want to make I didn't vote for Bill because of this. That's not a good enough reason. If you want social media push and you want social media like, I'm doing this for clout, do something else. Go do those little prank jokes that these little kids do in Target and stuff. If you want that kind of social media clout, or you want that kind of social media push, don't take it out on a guy that's obviously a first-time ballot Hall of Famer and Bill Belichick. You guys are terrible. And I'm calling it in now. You may hate the guy. You may love the guy. You may hate the fact that he's got some controversy behind him. But guess what? There's a lot of people in every Hall of Fame that has controversy behind them. Greatness is not without controversy in most cases. You guys, again, should be ashamed of yourself. It's terrible that he's not going in as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Rudy Campos here for Box Score Studio. We got a lot to talk about still. NBA trade deadline coming up Thursday, as mentioned, February 5th, 2 p.m. Eastern. We want to see what trades go down. All-Star game coming up here in a few weeks. We've got another All-Spurs representative going to the All-Star game. We'll mention that here. Spurs fans, they're sitting at 33-16 right now. Is there a move you think they should make? And what about the All-Star starters, reserves? Anybody get snubbed? We're going to get into that here in just a little bit. We're going to get a quick commercial break from our guys over at Chunky Flamingo, a little bit of a ad for them here. And when we get back, we'll start off with some Spurs cheesemeh, and then we'll get into the All-Star talk here. Rudy Campos Jr. for Box Score Studio. Appreciate everybody joining us here. Again, this is pre-recorded, so if you're leaving comments, apologize. We'll get to them on the next live video. Rudy Campos Jr. here. Shout out to Chunky Flamingo, man. Rock the Mingo, hashtag Rock the Mingo, chunkyflamingo.com. All you got to do is go to their website, type in that promo code, grab 3, 4, 5, 6 shirts, man. They got a ton of apparel. Use promo code ChunkyCards20 to get 20% off of your order from those guys over there at Chunky Flamingo Apparel, and tell them Grading the Market and Box Score Studio sent you. Promo code 20, ChunkyCards20. Get to 20% off over at Chunky Flamingo Apparel. Hashtag Rock the Mingo. That's chunkyflamingo.com. Use promo code ChunkyCards20.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs chisme. Nine, por favor.
All right, let's start your Spurs cheeseman off here with the congratulations going out to, of course, one, Mitch Johnson. Awesome. Mitch Johnson is going to be an all-star head coach, as your San Antonio Spurs did defeat the Orlando Magic, and also the Oklahoma City Thunder defeated the Denver Nuggets, giving Mitch the clear-cut path to being an all-star head coach this season. Congratulations out to Mitch Johnson. We've also got a little bit of rundown here for Mitch here. So obviously, like we said, he's one of the 3 all-star game teams with his Spurs staff. Becomes Spurs' second all-star game head coach behind Greg Popovich. Obviously, he's been Western Conference Coach of the Month for December. He began with the Spurs in the G League as assistant coach in 2016. So, Mitch doesn't get a lot of love on social media. I see on X a lot of people, every time the Spurs lose, it's blame Mitch. Mitch doesn't know how to do substitutions. He should have called timeout here. Should have done this. He's not playing so-and-so. He could have done this. He could have done that. I go back to the simple question of what more do you want? I mean, they are 33-16. Think about that. 17 games over 500 in Mitch Johnson's first full year as a Spurs head coach. How much more bitching can you people do out there on social media, on Spurs Twitter? Everything, you want to blame everything and a lot of things on Mitch Johnson. But yet, you always have it under a microscope of these little losses that they have. Yeah, they're losses. Yeah, they're doing a little bad lately, or 8-8 or whatever their record is in the last few games. Okay, they lost to the Charlotte Hornets, who, by the way, keep in consideration that Charlotte is one of the hotter teams in the NBA right now. They're on a little streak here. When you're playing that good and you're playing very well, you're going to be able to sneak up on a lot of these top teams. It happens. So again, all I see is, Mitch this, Mitch that. Stop with it. Chill out. First full season as an NBA head coach. And you shit on the guy for some of the losses. Could he have done something different? Yes. But that doesn't go just for Mitch Johnson. That goes for every coach in the NBA. Don't always go towards Mitch Johnson. And when the Spurs go cold shooting and they're shooting, they're missing every three and all this stuff, he's not the one taking the shots. He's not missing these 3-point attempts. Relax. 33 and 16. He's a head coach in the All-Star game now. I ask you, what more do you want from him? He's doing a great job. More Spurs Cheeseman here. We've also got this talk right here. Where will Jeremy play next? Now, obviously, Jeremy Sohan has been in rumors and in talks about, maybe being a Knick, possibly going to Chicago, which, again, Charlotte was another team. Phoenix was another team, and the Lakers. Those are the 5 teams that were mentioned across social media for Jeremy Sohan to possibly be traded to. The most popular one is the New York Knicks. Obviously, he's been rumored to go to the Knicks. The Spurs have been rumored to get Yabusele in return. They have made, I guess, some kind of, note that they don't want Yabusele because of that player option that is coming up. I believe it's 5.8 million. Excuse me, still under the weather here. But that $5.8 million player option. And plus, they would also have to take back another contract in return. So, again, something that you may not want. And I understand where the Spurs are coming from. Give me 1 second, guys. Got to get better soon here. But we are looking at this here. I feel that if he goes to the Knicks, it's going to be part of a 3-team deal. Spurs have the picks, and I mentioned it before on Locked On Spurs. Shout out to Jeff Garcia. I mentioned it on Box Score as well as the Sports Answer. If Giannis goes to the Knicks, I think the Spurs are going to play a part in that. They can get Jeremy to the Knicks as well. They've got the draft picks that the Knicks would want. That the Bucks would want in return. So I think they could potentially be a third party, a third wheel in a Giannis Antetokounmpo trade if it's involved with the Knicks. So there is a path there. I've also said that the possibility is maybe you get back an OG Anunoby from the Knicks. And you can also throw in Yabusele if you want in there. I don't know. They don't really seem to want him. But if you get an OG Anunoby in return, talking a little bit better Spurs team right there. One that can definitely hang hand for hand for, with the Oklahoma City Thunder. But again, that's just me wishful thinking right there. That's who I would like to see. Another mention that I've talked about with Jeff Garcia on Locked On Spurs was if he was to go to the Bulls, you would do a Jeremy Sohan, Kelly Olynyk type move, send them to Chicago in return for Kevin Huerter. Spurs need a spot-up shooter. They need a 3-point shooter. Huerter's not the greatest 3-point shooter in the world, but he can knock them down and he can get hot. He will probably answer a few of the questions when it comes to shooting. I do like a Kevin Huerter move if it is for Jeremy. But then again, if you look at Charlotte, I've mentioned also maybe a Jeremy Sohan for a Tijan Saloon type move. I think Saloon still has a lot more to prove in the NBA. I think if he comes to San Antonio and you see him under Mitch Johnson, Sean Sweeney, Corliss Williamson, especially with Rashard Lewis, I think Rashard Lewis could really get with Tijan Saloon and make him the type of player that he is expected to be in the NBA. I doubt we see Jeremy go to a team in the Western Conference like Phoenix or the Lakers. Both teams are playoff teams right now. They're in contention. They're going to be in the playoff contention. You don't really want to see Jeremy come playoff time on one of these teams. You want to maybe move him out east if he is going to be moved. And then to say, we're going to say this too, the possibility of him being traded may not even happen. He may not even get dealt. He may be a Spur for the rest of the season. Now, remember, they didn't offer him a contract extension in the offseason. So this may truly be his last season as a Spur. What do you think, Spurs fans? Will Jeremy get traded by the trade deadline? Will he be moved? Where, if he is moved, where will he go? Where do you potentially see him going? That's the question we ask you over at Box Score Studio. Drop your comments on the live stream here. We will get to them again. This is pre-recorded. We will get to them as they are left, and we will answer them on our next live Box Score Studio or on the next Box Score Studio when it is released. But where do you think Jeremy will go, and do you want to see him get traded? Last part of the Spurs Cheesemate here is revolving around the trade deadline when it comes to the Spurs. What move do you want them to make before the trade deadline? So I mentioned Kevin Huerter, maybe a three-team deal where they get a really good player back in return. I mentioned the Saloon deal for Sohan. Let's go outside of the box here. If you potentially see a Giannis move to Miami, I don't know if they'd go Bam Adebayo, but I would maybe look into maybe the Spurs inquiring about Andrew Wiggins as another type of player. You could possibly do a Andrew Wiggins for Harrison Barnes type of deal. Now, I love Harrison at the beginning of the season. He has cooled off a whole lot. But if you can move him for possibly an Andrew Wiggins, I would like that as well. Another trade deadline move I'd like to see make. I mean, I think they still need to get a shooter somewhere. What about Dalton Connect from LA? He's not getting a whole lot of run there. Dalton Connect came into my draft prospects as one of the highest rated draft prospects for me. Great catch and shoot type of player. Can camp around the three-point line, knock it down, can get hot, can create off the dribble. If I'm San Antonio, I am more than likely going to inquire about Dalton Connect. The Lakers do want to make a move somewhere. Would that be a way to move Jeremy to LA? Maybe getting Dalton Connect in return. I said earlier, I don't like to see him being traded to a Western Conference team, especially a team that's going to be vying for a playoff spot. I don't like that, but it does make sense if we're going to get Dalton Connect in return. I like that move. So we ask you, what moves do you think they should make before the trade deadline? What do you want them to do? Do you want them to stand pat? We like the team we have. Do you want them to make a move? Do you want them to maybe address a big man issue? We all know they need to address a shooting issue. What do you guys think out there? For me, it's the Andrew Wiggins move. Maybe inquire about that. Also, the Dalton Connect move for the Lakers. Those are the two guys I would like to see maybe be inquired about when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs. That's what I want to see, those two guys. What do you guys think out there? Be sure to leave comments on there so we can get to them. Overall, the trade deadline. We talked about Giannis. John Morant was kind of rumored to go to Minnesota, but that's kind of cooled off a little bit. Do we see any big moves being made? Do we see Jonathan Kuminga being moved? I think we do on that sense. Do the Sacramento Kings completely blow it up? Move Domantas Sabonis, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. Try to move these guys out. Giannis, I think, is going to be the biggest name that's going to be on the move. Where does he go? I don't know if Memphis is going to be able to get the type of deal they want for John Morant. They would probably get a really good deal for Jaren Jackson Jr. Who else makes that move out there? Do we potentially see Houston maybe make a big splash? They could move on from Fred VanVleet. Even though he's out for the year, he is a tradable asset. What moves do you think are going to be made? Do you think Giannis ends up as a Knick? Do you think he stays in Milwaukee and something happens in the offseason? When it comes to the Giannis, the more and more I feel like it gets closer to the deadline, I think he stays a Buck, and then he gets moved come NBA draft time. That's the way I feel about it. More than likely, he's going to get dealt before the trade deadline is here. But if he doesn't, it's going to be because of the NBA draft coming up. I think they're going to see what teams have what picks and make that decision based off of that. Could we see Giannis go to Atlanta? Team up with the likes of the players they have over there. Dyson Daniels. I mean, that could potentially make Atlanta a huge, huge favorite. Not to come out of the East, but definitely move them up the ladder. Does Anthony Davis get moved? That's another key piece right there. This is one of the first deadlines where I felt like we could potentially see a lot of big names being moved. You know, names that are going to be able to help contending teams solidify themselves as contenders. You know, look at Charlotte. Charlotte's another place. The way that they are playing. Con Canepel's playing out of his mind. Miller's playing great. They could move on from a couple of guys and potentially put a team together to compete for a play-in or a playoff spot. The Pelicans are a team that might be selling right now. DeJounte Murray could be on the move. They don't want to move on from Zion Williamson, but they are asking for a ransom when it comes to Trey Murphy III. Spurs fans, you would love to see Trey Murphy III in silver and black, but are you willing to give up 3 first-round picks, potentially Stephon Castle or Dylan Harper? One of those guys is going to have to be a part of that move when it comes to Trey Murphy III. There's no way around it. And if it happens, Brian Wright is your GM of the year if he's able to finesse a deal for Trey Murphy III and not give up major core pieces. There's a lot of buzz around this trade deadline. You might see teams that are, like I said, 1 or 2 pieces away, go and get those 1 or 2 pieces. We all thought the Clippers might be moving on from Kawhi Leonard, maybe from James Harden. They started off the season terrible. Now they are the hottest team in the league? They could go make a move. A lot of tradable pieces this trade deadline. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to see what's going on. Box Score Studio partners with Chunky Flamingo Apparel. Chunky Cards 20. Use that promo code. Go to chunkyflamingo.com. Promo code Chunky Cards 20. 20% off of your order plus bonus cards. They send you a couple of bonus cards from the guys over at Greeting the Market. Don't want to miss out on that at all. Last one we got to get into, man. All-Star Reserves were named. These are your All-Star Reserves starters for the East and the West for the All-Star game this season, Sunday, February 15th, a couple of weeks away. There you go, the starters. On the West side, Curry, Doncic, Alexander, Jokic, Wembanyama. Of course, you see these starters on the East, Giannis, Jaylen Brown, Brunson, Cunningham, Tyrese Maxey. Then you get into the reserves. Now, on the East side, Barnes, Duran, Jalen Johnson, Mitchell, Norman Powell, Siakam, Karl-Anthony Towns. I really do feel like a lot of people believe that Brandon Ingram should be on this roster. I will agree with that. I could see Brandon Ingram being on this roster. I know it's 2, 4, 6. It's like a 12-man roster right now. I wouldn't mind seeing the NBA opening up one more spot, making it 13 for both sides. I wouldn't mind that at all if that was the case. But at the same time, if there's one person you would leave off, for me on the East, it's kind of hard. I mean, everybody on that team, I think, is really deserving looking at it. But again, I think Brandon Ingram definitely does deserve a spot on the Eastern Conference All-Star team. I think that was the snub on the Eastern Conference side. Western Conference side, I mean, I'm okay, obviously, with Booker, Durant, Anthony Edwards, Jamal Murray. I'm okay with that. Murray did, play lights out while Nikola Jokic was out with his injury. Played lights out, man. He deserves it. Denny Avgia, okay. I'm okay with him in there as well. I get the Chet Holmgren thing. You're the number one seed, and you gotta have at least two players on the All-Star team because you are the number one seed and you are the number one team in all of NBA basketball. I get that. Okay. You have Chet Holmgren there. I will sadly agree with that Holmgren move for that reason. Don't necessarily like it. I think there's better players out there that should be all-stars. Nonetheless, I mean, okay, we'll let it go. But let's lay in on this, man. You see one name I haven't mentioned. That is LeBron James. Explain to me that. He's an all-star. How? Now, throw your GOAT bullshit talk to the side. I don't care. He's not my GOAT. He's never going to be my GOAT. I mean, I have more players other than him, a lot more other players than him when it comes to all-time great players above him. I'm not shitting on LeBron James. I'm not bashing him by any means. I mean, definitely, everything he's accomplished, okay. I mean, you play 50 years in the league, you're going to accomplish a lot of stuff already. I mean, you play in the easiest era of basketball. So, okay, whatever. And I'm going to get to that in a minute because I have his comments about modern basketball and all that, whatever. But when it comes to All-Star this year, you've got Shedeur Sanders as a Pro Bowler. You've got Bill Belichick getting screwed on the Hall of Fame ballot. Now you got LeBron James as an All-Star. Make it make sense, man. I'm saying make it make sense. He's averaging 21.9 points a game. He's averaging 5.8 rebounds, 6.6 assists a game. He's played 30 games this season. Okay. If you want to talk like that, he's played 30 games this season. Lakers are 29-19, primarily because of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Get that. But why does he get the nod over players like Kawhi Leonard, 27.7 points per game? Or let me throw another guy out there, and it's because of the record. I totally understand why. It's because of the record. But a player like Lauri Markkanen, 27.4 points a game. Markkanen's having a beautiful season. Now, record-wise, yeah, I get it, man. I get it. Markkanen's not going to get in because, well, the Jazz suck, right? I mean, they are a 15-35 team. No reason why they should get in. No reason why they should have any representation in the All-Star game. But what about Kawhi Leonard? The LA Clippers are hosting the NBA All-Star game. And you don't have one Clipper as a representative. The hottest team in the NBA right now, the LA Clippers. Kawhi Leonard playing out of his mind. I mean, let's give him a round of applause because, hey, but he's playing way better than LeBron James is. Way better. Guess what? He's played more games than LeBron this season, too. Kawhi's played 34 games. LeBron's played 30. So make it make sense without all you people coming on here and giving me well, it's LeBron James. I don't need that. Well, it's LeBron James bullshit. I don't need that. I need you to make it make sense as to why he's an all-star. If it's because, well, this is probably his last year as, an NBA player. I don't care. I don't care. You're taking away a spot from another player because, it's his last season, maybe. Or, because it's LeBron James. He's the king. He's got to be at the All-Star game. Well, you know what? Buy a ticket on the front row. Give him a free ticket or two right along the sideline. Boom, he's at the All-Star game. There's no reason for him to be on All-Star reserve above a lot of other players that are well-deserved. Even Dylan Brooks deserves a spot on the All-Star team. Make it make sense, people. LeBron doesn't mean jack shit to the Lakers. They play worse with him on the floor. When Luka is playing without LeBron James and LeBron James is out, the Lakers are a better team. But yet he's an all-star. Then he comes out and says, well, you know, today's game is a lot harder. It's more, basically it's just, it's harder to play because, we're more athletic and this and that. Oh, bullshit. I'm tired of that right there. First off, I'm not going to compare today's game to the 80s to the 90s. The 80s and 90s is a whole different animal compared to today's game. There was no rest and relaxation back in the 80s and 90s. These guys played 80 games, 82 games. They played majority of the season. That All-Star game back in the 80s and 90s was tougher than we see most regular season and most playoff games today. They played with balls back in the day in an all-star game. They made it count. It meant something to them. So don't give me the BS about today's game is much harder, much because it's much more athletic. It's much more grueling and punishing than it was in the 80s and 90s. Stop with that. Stop with that. You play the same amount of games. You get credited for getting all this money. Players in the 80s and 90s didn't get all this money like you get. They worked their ass off. They played their ass off. They really, really made it worth going to an NBA game for the fans because they gave the fans what they wanted. They didn't go to another arena and sit because I am tired. I need rest. My toenail hurts. 80s and 90 players, they played for the love of the game. Today's players, majority, not saying everybody, but a lot of them play for the brand. They play for themselves. How much money can I make for myself? Don't care about the fans. I care about how much the fans want to spend on my brand. That is today's NBA. But again, explain to me how LeBron James is an all-star. Please do it. I need help on that. Box Score Studio TV, again, partners with Chunky Flamingo Apparel and MCS General Contracting. Be sure to go to chunkyflamingo.com. Use ChunkyCards20 as the promo code. That way you can get 20% off your entire order. Plus, truth be told, and secret has it, you get some cards, literal cards, along with your order. That is chunkyflamingo.com. For Chunky Flamingo Apparel, use promo code ChunkyCards20 to get 20% off of your entire order. Also, MCS General Contracting, the best contractors in the building. Hey, man, you know what? You own a business. You need to get that driveway repoured because it was screwed up beforehand. People before that didn't even do it right. Lehan, the boys over at MCS General Contracting, call them today. Make an appointment with them. They're going to take care of you from start to finish. You want that brand new pool. Summer's going to be coming up here in a few months. In fact, San Antonio is probably going to be here at the end of February. Get that pool started now, man. That way you are ready to get it installed by summertime. It's ready to go. You get that summer body working. You get everything going. Call MCS General Contracting today. They can get that pool ready for you. Your driveway's cracking because, again, it was a shitty job before. MCS General Contracting has your back. Call Lehan, the boys over at MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors and partners of us here at Box Score Studio. Appreciate everybody joining us here. Be sure to join our Box Score Studio TV on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Why? You got the Derek Irvin documentary that's still going strong. You've got Grading the Market. You've got Box Score Studio TV coming to you at least once or twice a week now. So you do not want to miss any content, as well as any giveaways that we will be doing here very, very soon. We are also introducing our brand new we're doing more documentaries. One of them is going to be on a local basketball team here. We're following them, giving you some game footage. You can go to our YouTube page, Box Score Studio TV, check out the game footage from there. It's great. Their run to a state title is going to be amazing. We're providing as much content as we can for you on that as well. We're going to be covering a lot more of the local teams, a lot more of the professional teams. We just got a bunch going on. That's Box Score Studio TV on YouTube. Also, you can join me on the Sports Answer on Answer Now TV. So if you can't catch me on Box Score Studio, you can also catch me on the Sports Answer over on Answer Now TV. So appreciate everybody joining us here today. Again, this show has been pre-recorded. So if you've left comments and I haven't gotten to them, don't be upset. We will get to them as soon as we can. Again, it is a pre-recorded show, but again, I appreciate everybody joining me here today. Can't wait to see you guys the next one. Hopefully we'll be back later on this week live so we can get some NFL talk for the Super Bowl, get some prop bets in, see what prop bets you guys like, and maybe get into some NBA trade deadline as it happens, maybe some live reaction as soon as the trade deadline ends, see what kind of moves are made, and maybe see if the Spurs do make any moves. So for everybody at Box Score Studio TV, it's Rudy Campos Jr. Appreciate you joining us here today. Catch you guys on the next one.
This is Box Score Studio. Breaking it down, calling it real, and keeping you one step ahead of the game. Catch you on the next one.